Now, let's hear more about the Arctic adventure.
They're surprised to find just one ice float with a bunch of other polar bears that traveled really far distances, only to find this one ice float to rest at. This conflict's climax is when that ice float starts breaking apart, so the other Octonauts have to save them.
Climate change!
Proving that you're never off the clock when you're an Octonaut. But the whole global warming undertones of the special is never addressed directly. I think the polar bears need to unionize and stop letting the walruses push them around.
Yeah, not wrong. The walruses were kind of jerks.
Every time a walrus is shown on the show, they're so fucking mean, dude. The Mariana Trench adventure starts with them finishing construction on their brand new deep-sea Octo lab. Dashi and Shellington are going alone to study the Mariana Trench, and they're bringing Octobots that Dashi programmed, and they even programmed Vegiebots to cook like the Vegemals do. The Vegiebots are cursed, they can't do anything right, nothing can replace the Vegemals. Because Shellington and Dashi were going to study for a week away from the other Octonauts, I thought we'd see a bit of those adventures, or they'd be missing for the next couple of episodes, but that's not what ended up happening. We didn't hear any of their discoveries, they're gatekeeping it from us, and I understand why. In the Over-Under adventure, we see the Gup-S, which has a narwhal-like drill. They are expanding this research facility so quickly. I'll have them explain the Gup-S's features.
The Gup-S is two gups in one. It can explore over the ice and under.
Oh, that's why the special's named that. It goes over and under.
Nothing gets past me. I'm a professional at watching kid shows.
Oh, and by the way, I'm learning about natural disasters for fish. These episodes stress me out in a way I didn't think they could. Have you ever heard of a brinacle? One of the other nicknames for this phenomenon is called the finger of death.
Terrifying.
Imagine if one day you saw an icicle coming out of the sky, and then it instantly freezes the ground and everything and everyone around it.
Oh my
Look at this video of it. I have no reason to be scared of this. I will never encounter one, but I am shitting myself. The Operation Deep Freeze special opens with a polar bear named Tracker that greets Captain Barnacles with, "It's good to see you at the old post, sir." And Tracker is also really excited to meet the Octonauts. Tracker runs the Polar Scout emergency post, so Polar Scouts quite literally trained Barnacles for the Octonauts.
Interesting.
And before Barnacles joined the Octonauts, he trained other Polar Scouts like Tracker. They got an alert at the Arctic Post from another post in the Antarctic. So the Octonauts go to investigate and meet Professor Natquick. Back in the Polar Scout days, Natquick taught Barnacles how to do field research in the Arctic. So we see a mentor of Barnacles and a mentee of Barnacles.
Yay!
Is it just me, or does Natquick specifically look like he could be an Animal Crossing villager?
Yes, exactly.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, how the fuck are you, sharks? So, my idea, pretty much Animal Crossing, but instead of farming and fishing and stuff, it's just us as the Octonauts saving animals and shit. Bidding starts at $5 million.
I offer 1 million. How? 10 million? Wait, it should be 10 million. It gotta be 10 million. That would be cool. Great job, Athena. Next game idea, Nintendo. Take it. Take it all you want.
Natquick called for help because his research center was going to fall into a massive crack. At the end of the episode, we see a month-and-a-half blueprint montage, and then Tweak gifts Natquick with the Gup-I. The Gup-I stands for ice. And also, I don't care. Either all of the letters stand for something, or just make it random. The Gup-I is equipped with solar panels, wind turbines, snow treads, and legs that can move the station up and down depending on how much snow there is. In the Great Swamp...
Wait, if all the letters stand for something, then what does the Gup-B stand for? Gup Badass?
The theme song changed to this banjo version that absolutely shredded. The crew got a distressed and distorted call from Ranger Marsh, who's Tweak's father. Tweak grew up with him in the Everglades, so Tweak is from Florida. This is the...
She fought a ton of Florida men, probably. She was like, Florida man, stop! Stop! Florida man, stop dancing in the river naked! Sorry, she wasn't gonna make a Florida man joke, so I was.
The first appearance of the Gup K, which is an alligator-looking wing boat that can also turn into a monster truck, which is the most Florida thing to ever Florida.
You mean? No, Florida men are the most Florida thing to ever Florida.
Tweek's dad explains the problem. There are creatures here that don't belong. Okay, actually, that's the most Florida thing to ever Florida.
No, Florida men are.
That depressing joke about shriveled up conservatives aside, what Ranger Marsh is actually talking about are invasive species. Duh. And as opposed to letting them die in a wildfire, Marsh called the Octonauts to save all of them and bring them back home. So he's a really nice guy. They're not gonna give Tweek daddy issues. Cowards. I do think this guy is still supposed to represent somebody who's out of touch but willing to change, because the entire special, he was downplaying all of Tweek's inventions, like, oh, I don't need this toy. And that could be seen as playful banter, or it could be seen as him undermining his daughter's abilities and skills because he doesn't understand them. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this guy. Now for the movie-length Netflix specials. In the caves of Sakatun, rather than going around South America to get this little octopus back home to the Caribbean Ocean, they are going over South America in the Gup H, which is a helicopter. But it crashes. Womp womp. The rest of the crew try and find and save Barnacles, Peso, and the little octopus in the brand new Gup G. This Gup also appeared in season 5, and unfortunately I can't find that episode anywhere. Back to the Gup G. It's modeled after a salamander and stomps its way through the jungle. The Gup G also features these quads. Stashy talks about her friend Ryla the Wombat and how good she'd be at finding her friends.
I'm just more interested in listening to this stuff at this point.
Because Ryla is the best diver around. She even wrote a book about it. And Dashy took pictures for Ryla's book. Conveniently enough, Ryla was exploring the cave that Barnacles, Peso, and the little octopus named Kobo were in. What are the odds? It is revealed that Captain Barnacles is afraid of tight spaces due to his childhood trauma. This gives us a rare vulnerable moment for him, but it just sucks that this was established after he's already been in tight spaces before with no problem. Anyway, did someone say new Gup reveal? No one said that. This is the Gup Q. It looks like a hammerhead shark. It uses...
Okay, well, what does Q stand for? I legit can't even come up with a word.
echolocation to map out caves. I gotta hand it to them. Even though we're running out of letters, it's still really cool tech. It also has Q scooters that drive on land and water. All of these newer Gups are having baby Gups. Anyway, in conclusion, Dashy saves everyone by having the Gup Q go full piranha mode, chomping up all these falling rocks. Also, I'm operating off pure vibes here, but Dashy and Ryla are gay and in love.
No. Dashy is dating Shellington.
In the Ring of Fire special, while Tweek is repairing the other Gups, she offers the rest of the crew prototypes in the form of Gup Z 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. Hey. We ran out of the letters of the alphabet, we just couldn't be bothered to have N, so now we have numbers, all the way up to all the way up to 10 million.
We're resorting to numbers now. This is Gup Pie. It launches pie. No, that's the next special. I'm not fully joking. The main plot of Ring of Fire is that underwater tremors are causing a chain reaction of volcano explosions, and each pair of Octonauts makes a very action-packed escape. I struggle summing up action sequences like this. I don't want to sit here and be like, and then he ducked, and then they swam, and then explosion. If you want to figure out what happens step by step, just watch it. I don't feel like summarizing this. Okay, skipping to the end, the Gup Z's have a Z button that causes them to combine and form the Mega Gup Z. And the Octonauts Transformer saves the sea creatures from the biggest volcano yet.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay. Part 6!